This is Professor Srikanth from Icfai Business School, Hyderabad. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about most widely used accounting software, that is Tally. So, let us first discuss about what is accounting, then we discuss about importance of accounting software, then we will move to the application of Tally. So, let us see what is accounting. Accounting refers to the process of identifying, recording, analyzing and interpreting financial transactions, and the purpose of this accounting is to provide useful information to various stakeholders for decision making. Accounting helps in keeping track of all the business operations. So, where there are large number of business transactions, keeping track of all these transactions manually is very difficult. So, in such situation, accounting software comes to our rescue. So, accounting software replaces the manual work with automation. So, in this way, it simplifies the accounting process and also helps the owners of the business to concentrate on long term planning and execution of such plans. Now, let us see what are the advantages of accounting software. So, when you are using an accounting software, it saves your time, it integrates all the financial data from various departments. It can be the production department, it can be a marketing department, it can be HR department, it can be accounting department, any department. Okay, all the departments information is integrated into one place and it is processed and useful information is provided through accounting software. Accounting software produces various financial reports which are useful for decision making by the management. Accounting software also ensures the accuracy of results and it generates financial statements in easily understandable manner. So, different types of financial statements you can generate with the help of accounting softwares which meet your various information needs. Accounting also provides useful insights. It provides overall view of your business performance, right from maintaining day book to providing very advanced statements like stock analysis, tax management, etc. is done easily in accounting softwares. So, it streamlines tax management by providing various tax compliances like GST or income tax, etc. we can do easily in accounting software. It minimizes errors in inventory management by providing various stock related reports. Now, let us see various types of accounting softwares which are commonly used in Indian context. So, Tally, ERP9, Zoho Books, QuickBooks, Easy Business, Profit Books, Logic, Morg ERP, Vyapar. These are all different types of accounting software which are commonly used by the businesses in India. Now, let us see what is Tally accounting software, why it is important, why it is widely used in Indian context. So, Tally is having basic to advanced features. It can generate various accounting reports which serves various needs like GST compliance, providing e-invoice, e-waybill, GST filing, reconciliation of accounts books with bank statement, that is called BRS, stock analysis like stock aging analysis, stock movement analysis and reorder level analysis, stock and tax statements, like these different types of reports you can get in Tally. And one more important advantage with Tally is you can securely access your business data from anywhere, anytime by using web integration in Tally. So, these are all the different types of advantages which makes a Tally widely used software. Now, let us discuss about how to use Tally for recording business transactions. Now, let us see how to open a Tally software, how to install it, and how to open a Tally software and how to run it for your business. Now, let us move to the desktop. So, you can install Tally software easily, and Tally educational version is freely available. So, if you type Tally download, you will get the link for downloading Tally. So, I have already installed Tally in my system. Now, I am going to open it by clicking this icon on my desktop. So, when I click this icon, I am getting this Tally. So, this is the first screen. So, here you have having different options. So, if you buy a original Tally software with license as a full version, you can activate it by using the activation key provided by the Tally vendor. Otherwise, if you want to use this software for education purpose, it means for learning purpose, you no need to have a license or any activation key. It is free of cost. So, you download the Tally software and you select this option, work in educational mode. So, work in educational mode, this option provides you to use Tally free of cost for educational purpose. So, it is having all the features except a date. So, you cannot enter the dates beyond 3 days, 1 to 3 days in a month only you can enter in education version. Apart from that, all the other features which are available in full version you can see in education version also. Now, let me open the Tally in educational mode. So, here you can take Tally single user. So, now I open Tally. So, this is our Tally interface. So, after opening this Tally, we had to create a company. So, we had to create a company, then you start working, you start doing your business accounting process in Tally. Now, let us see how to create a company in Tally. So, first I select this create company option. Now, I got this field. Here I give the company name. I am giving ABC and company as my company, and here we have different fields. All the fields are not compulsory, but some fields you have to fill. So, like country, then state. So, I select Telangana state. A pin code is not compulsory here, and contact details are also not compulsory. If you want, you can give all these details, otherwise you simply skip these fields. So, the financial year, so the financial year starts from 1st April 2021, and I start my books also from the same date. So, all the remaining fields are not compulsory here. So, you can see many other useful fields like the currency symbol, currency name. So, like this many useful information is there. Whatever the information is required, all such information is activated by default. That is why I skip these fields. So, I am creating a company by accepting this information. Now, my company is created. My company name is ABC and Company. So, after creating a company, I have to create ledgers. So, if you want to enter transactions, you have to create ledgers. So, to create ledgers, I go to accounts information and ledgers. Here I create my ledgers. Then after creating the ledgers, I will enter my transactions by using accounting vouchers. So, these are different types of vouchers which we are going to discuss in detail shortly. So, we are having the vouchers like contra voucher to record bank related transactions. We have the vouchers like receipt voucher, payment voucher, purchase voucher, sales voucher and journal voucher. So, these are the different types of vouchers which are regularly used in any business for recording the transactions. So, after the entry of transactions, you can see various accounts books, various accounts books which are available. So, we will do an exercise in Tally, then we discuss what are the different types of reports available in Tally. Now, let us take an assignment to apply apply it in Tally. So, I will move to an assignment. So, here we are going to do this assignment in Tally. So, this is an assignment we are going to do in this Tally. We are having 8 simple regularly occurring transactions in a business. So, here Mr. Ram started a business of trading in electronic goods on wholesale basis. So, to start a business, he brought 1 lakh rupee of capital in cash. So, to enter this transaction, we have to create ledgers. As I told, any transaction requires ledger. So, here we can identify 2 ledgers, one is capital, other one is cash. So, to create a ledger, we have to select an appropriate group. So, we have to select an appropriate group. Here the capital is created under capital account. And one more important thing you should remember, in Tally, cash account already exists by default. So, you no need to create cash ledger. And also remember, this transaction is entered in receipt voucher because cash is coming to the business in the form of capital. Now, let us see other transactions, like he deposited money. Mr. Ram has deposited 50,000 rupees out of 1 lakh cash he brought to the business. 50,000 rupees is deposited into the bank. For this transaction, you have to create bank account and you have to enter this transaction in contra voucher. In the same way, he paid some rent. So, for this transaction, you have to create rent account, and rent account should be created under indirect expenses group. Then this transaction is entered in payment voucher. Then he purchased furniture by paying 10,000 rupees by check. So, to enter this transaction, additionally you have to create furniture account under fixed assets group. Bank account we already created earlier. So, no need to create this bank account again and again. Once you create the ledger, you can use it for any future transactions which are having such ledger. So, this purchase of furniture is entered in payment voucher. In the same way, we are having few more transactions. He purchased 10 TV sets. That's what is main business activity, buying and selling of TV sets, electronic goods. So, he purchased 10 TV sets. So, for this transaction, you have to create purchase ledger and Sony Electronics. He purchased this TV sets from Sony Electronics on credit. So, this transaction should be entered in purchase voucher. Then next transaction is sales. He made a sale of all the 10 TV sets to Ravi Electronics on credit. So, for this transaction, you have to create 2 ledgers, sales account under sales group, Ravi account under sundry debtors group. So, this transaction is entered in sales voucher. Then we enter the other transaction, that is payment of salaries by check. So, for this transaction, you have to create salaries account. So, salaries account is created under indirect expenses and this transaction is entered in payment voucher. Then the last transaction is receipt of commission of 5,000 rupees in cash. So, for this transaction, additionally you have to create commission ledger under indirect incomes. So, this transaction is entered in receipt voucher. So, these are the transactions we are going to enter in our Tally accounting software, and we also see how to generate different reports by using Tally accounting software. Now, let us move to Tally accounting software. So, now we are in Tally accounting software. So, let us create all the ledgers which are required for our transaction. So, as I told, we can enter the transactions. We had to create the ledgers. So, let us go to the accounts information, then we select ledger, then create. Here you please observe there are two options, one is single ledger, other one is multiple ledger. So, if you are having one or two ledgers, you can create the ledger by using single ledger option, but here we are having the more number of ledgers, we will create the ledgers by using multiple ledgers option. So, if you want to create a single ledger, click on create, give the ledger name, then group. So, then group and you have to save it. So, this is the information you have to provide, but we choose multiple ledger option because if we are having more number of ledgers to create. So, we will select create under multiple ledger. So, here we are going to create different ledgers. The first ledger is capital. So, I am creating capital ledger. Here I have to select appropriate group for the capital. So, these are all the various groups which are existing in Tally. Based on these groups, Tally accounting software works. So, now I will select capital account for capital ledger. I do not give opening balance because this is not an existing business. Then I will create an other account. Cash account already exists, that is why you no need to create cash ledger. So, I create a bank ledger under bank account. Then I will create rent account under indirect expenses. I choose indirect expenses because rent comes in profit and loss account. If any expense comes in trading account, I have to choose direct expenses group. Then I will create furniture account. So, furniture account is created under fixed assets. So, like this for every ledger you have to select an appropriate group. Then I will create purchase ledger under purchase account. Then I also create Sony Electronics from whom we are buying goods and credit. So, he is our creditor. So, I select sundry creditors group for this party. Then I select sales, I create sales ledger under sales account. Then I create Ravi Electronics to whom we are selling the goods. So, Ravi Electronics is our customer. So, we select sundry creditors, sundry debtors. So, we have to create Ravi Electronics under sundry debtors because we are selling goods to Ravi Electronics on credit. So, in the same way I am creating salaries account, it is an expense. So, it is an indirect expense. So, I selected indirect expense group. Then I will create one more account, that is commission. Commission is an income to us because we are receiving commission. So, I select indirect income because the commission comes in profit and loss account. So, I created all the required ledgers for entering the transactions. So, now I save all these ledgers by accepting this. Now, I will go back to gateway of Tally by clicking the escape button. So, now I am in gateway of Tally. So, we are dealing with TV sets, that is our business. So, I have to create TV sets also in inventory. So, I will move to the inventory information, then I will create TV sets. So, please remember, before creating stock items, we had to create unit of measurement for the stock items. So, I select unit of measurement and create. So, we are dealing with TV sets. TV sets are measured in number 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. If you are dealing with some liquid assets like oil etc., it will be measured in liters. If you are dealing with rice or pulses, it is measured in kgs. So, that is what unit of measurement means. So, we are dealing with TV sets. So, I select numbers as unit of measurement. So I created unit of measurement. Now I am going back to inventory information window. Here I am going to create stock items. So I have only one item to create, that's why I am selecting single stock item option. So here I create TV sets. So my unit of measurement is a, of course I have to create this under primary group. So I am not having large number of stocks and different classifications, so only one inventory is there, that is why I am creating it under primary. Then unit of measurement is number. So I am not having opening stock here, so I just accept this information. So I created stock items. Now I am coming back to gateway of tally. Now I have to enter all the transactions which we discussed in our PPT. So the first transaction is bringing capital by Mr. Ram. 1 lakh rupee of capital is brought by Mr. Ram in cash. So this transaction should be entered in receipt voucher. So I have to select the receipt voucher. Please observe on the right side of this window we are having different types of vouchers and their function keys. So if I select F4, I will go to contra voucher. If I select F5, I will go to payment voucher. If I go to F6, I will go to receipt voucher. Like that, for all the vouchers we have the relevant function keys. You can observe them in this right side toolbar. So I need receipt voucher now to enter this transaction. So I selected receipt voucher. Now I am going to enter this transaction in receipt voucher. So here in account I select cash because I am getting cash. So I am getting cash under capital account. So I select capital. Whatever the ledgers you have created, all the ledgers will be displayed here. So you no need to type, you just select from this pop-up list. So capital, the amount of capital is 1 lakh rupee. So this 1 lakh rupee of capital I received to the business. So I entered in this receipt voucher. No additional information is required. So I just accept this voucher by clicking on S. Next, the next transaction, as we discussed, Mr. Ram deposited 50,000 rupees into the bank. So for this transaction I had to choose contra voucher. So please observe on the right side, if you click F4 button you can activate contra voucher. So this is the contra voucher, it is in white color. You can also observe the colors of various vouchers. So earlier we had receipt voucher, it is in this green color, F4 is in white color. So you can see the different colors for different types of vouchers. So now I am going to enter the cash deposit of 50,000 into the bank. So here I have to select bank account, and in the particulars I have to select cash. So I give this 50,000 rupees cash deposit. So if you want, you can enter the narration. Some additional information if required you can enter, but we are not entering all these details, that's why I just skip this field. So I come back to the main window of voucher entry. If you want to give a narration, you can give a narration, or else you can save this voucher. Now I will enter the other transaction, that is Mr. Ram taken buildings on rent and he paid 5,000 rupees by check. So this should be entered in payment voucher. So now I click on F5 and I activated payment voucher. So in payment voucher, so I am going to enter this transaction. So he made the rent payment by cash, not by check. So he used cash for paying the rent. So I select cash. If he is using check, I have to use bank account. So now I choose rent account, which I have already created. So the amount is 5,000 rupees. So if you want, you can give the details to whom he paid the rent. Otherwise you can leave this field and you save the voucher in this simple way. Then The other transaction which is made by Mr. Ram is purchase of furniture. So, he purchased furniture and made the payment by check. So, this transaction will also be entered in payment voucher. So, now I am in payment voucher. In the same voucher I enter this transaction. So, he purchased furniture and paid the amount by check. So, I had to choose bank account. So, here in particulars I choose furniture. The amount is 10,000 rupees. So, all these details are not required. I simply skip this field and I save this voucher. Now, Mr. Ram purchased TV sets. Mr. Ram purchased 10 TV sets. It is his merchandise. So, I have to enter it in purchase voucher. By clicking F9, I am activating the purchase voucher. So, here the party name you have to mention. Mr. Ram purchased this furniture from Sony Electronics. So, the supplier details like his address, sales tax number. If you want, you can enter this, or else you can skip this field. Then purchase, I have to select. Then I will give the stock details. So, I am buying the TV sets here. So, I select TV sets. I am buying 10 TV sets. So, the rate is 10,000 rupees. So, the total amount is 1 lakh rupee. So, I have given these details and I saved this voucher. The next transaction is sale of goods. So, to enter this transaction we had to activate sales voucher. So, by clicking F8 I will go to the sales voucher. So, I am making this sale to Ravi Electronics. So, I will select Ravi Electronics from this list, and all the party details like dispatch, delivery note number, order number, all these details you can enter. So, otherwise you can skip this field and you will go back to voucher entry screen. So, I select sales here, then the TV sets I select, and the quantity is 10 and the rate is 15,000 and total 1,50,000 is the value of sales. So, I accept this voucher. Then last two transactions are payment of salaries and receipt of commission. So, payment of salaries I will enter in payment voucher. To activate the payment voucher I have to click on F5 button. You can observe on the right side in this bar. So, F5 is the payment voucher. So, in this payment voucher I enter the details. I made the payment of salaries by check. So, I will choose bank account. Then in particulars I choose salaries. So, the salaries paid are 10,000 rupees. So, if you want to give the details like check details and all, you can give, or else you can skip this field and you save this voucher. Next, commission. So, you have received the commission. So, commission is received through cash. So, I select cash account, and in particulars I select commission account, and the cash is 5,000 rupees of commission is received in cash. And here one more important thing you should observe. I am not entering the date, I am not changing the date, I am entering all these transactions on 1st April. So, because this is an educational version, the software is educational version, the only restriction in educational version is you cannot enter the dates. You can use only 1, 2, 3, first 3 dates only. That is the main restriction. So, here we are learning the software, so that is why date is not important for us. So, I am not entering the date, I am not changing the date, I am entering all these transactions on 1st April. So, please make note of this point when you are using Tally educational version. So, now I accept this. I am sorry, here we had to enter this in receipt voucher. So, I am using the receipt voucher for this transaction because we have received commission. So, by activating this F6 button, I went to the receipt voucher. So, in receipt voucher I am giving these details. So, I accept the receipt voucher. So, now I have entered all the transactions. I will go back to gateway of Tally now. So, now let us see what are the different types of reports available for our transactions. So, we will go to the report section. So, I will select a display. So, you can see day book, where you can see all the transactions which I have entered. If you want to see this in detailed version, you just click on this first button, Alt F1, you will get all the transactions in detailed form. In the same way, I can see accounts books. In accounts books, you can see cash book and bank book. So, in cash book, so you can see the details month wise. We enter the transactions only for April. Otherwise, you can see month wise all these details of debit, credit and closing balance. So, these are the cash transactions which we have entered. So, in the same way, I can see the bank account details. So, these are the bank transactions which we have entered in our business. Then you can see all the ledgers. So, for example, capital ledger, you can see what are the transactions entered in capital ledger. You can see what are the transactions entered in commission ledger. So, all the ledgers accounts also you can see individually. Then you can see sales register, the month wise details you can find, and the transactions also you can find in the sales register. Then purchase register, where you can see all the purchases. So, month wise and every month all the details of the purchases you can find. Then you can also see statement of accounts. Then you can see inventory books, like I just show you one example of inventory book. Stock items you can see. So, this is the inwards and outward details you can find, which is very useful for stock analysis. So, here in this case we sold out all the items, that is why no closing stock, otherwise you can see the closing stock also. Some advanced stock analysis reports like movement analysis, aging analysis also you can see in real life. If you have the full version of the software where you enter the transactions date wise, you can get all these useful reports for your decision making purpose. Then you can also see fund flow and cash flow statements. You can see receipts and payments. So, these are all the regularly used various types of account sheets in Tally. Now, let us see the financial statements. So, one is the profit and loss account, which is very important, the final account. So, the profit and loss account you can observe in the traditional T form, and you can also observe the profit and loss account in the latest format, which is suggested by Schedule 6 of the company law. So, if I click on this button, I will get this profit and loss account in this Schedule 6 format, which is used by the companies. So, I can find sales under revenue from operations. This 5,000 other income is our commission. You can find it here, commission. Okay. Then you can also see the purchases under purchase of stock. Then you can find other expenses, like we have 2 other expenses here. So, you can get all the details by clicking on the concerned item. So, rent and salaries are the 2 expenses we have entered. Then you can see our total profit. Profit is 40,000 rupees. So, this is the format, very detailed format, which is used by the companies to present their profit and loss statement. Then we will also see the balance sheet. Finally, we will discuss about the balance sheet. So, this is a conventional style balance sheet, where you can see capital, loans, current liabilities on the left side, and fixed assets and current assets on the right side. If you want to see the balance sheet in Schedule 6 format, which is used by the companies, you click on Schedule 6 in the right side toolbar. Please observe Schedule 6. So, this is a format which is used by the companies. So, here you can see shareholders funds, share capital, reserves and surplus. Under reserves and surplus, you can find the profit. What you got in reserves and surplus? It is our profit. profit and loss account. Then you can also see the current liabilities. So what are the current liabilities here? Our sundry creditors from whom you purchase goods. Sony Electronics is reflected. So in this way you can get all the details just by clicking on that item. So this is the total current liabilities. If you click, you will get what are the details of current liabilities. We have trade payables. Again, if you click on this button, you can find the details of the trade payables or the sundry creditors. Then you can also find the assets like fixed assets. We have one fixed asset, that is furniture. So that you can find here furniture under fixed assets group. Then you can also find the current assets. Under current assets you have 1,50,000, that is our Ravi Electronics, to whom you made the sale on credit. And you can also find the balance of cash and bank under current assets, cash and bank balance. So these are the details. So in this way you can get an interesting and detailed format of the balance sheet in Tally, which is very much useful for decision making. Now let us see the one more report, that is ratio analysis. So these are the different types of ratios which you can get in Tally, like current ratio, quick ratio, net profit, operating profit ratios. So these are all various types of ratios which are available by default in Tally. So this is all about our Tally software. We learned in Tally how to create a company. First of all, how to install and how to open a Tally in educational mode, which is free of cost, which can be used by anybody for learning purpose. Then we learned how to create a company, how to create ledger accounts, because if you want to enter a transaction you need ledger accounts. So how to create the ledgers in Tally, we learned. It is done in Masters and Accounting Information. Then we learned how to create, how to enter the transactions. So to enter the transactions we use accounts vouchers. We learned what are the different types of vouchers available in Tally. Then after entering the transactions we also learn how to see various types of reports which are generated by Tally. You can use display option and you can see various types of reports like trial balance, day book, various types of ledgers. Then we also learn how to see the final accounts, two important final accounts, that is profit and loss account and balance sheet. So Tally is providing these two final accounts in conventional form as well as in the present form which is suggested by the company law. So this is our lecture today on Tally. Thank you.